What do I have to consider if I am not an Austrian citizen and want to buy a property in Austria? Today's topic is the acquisition of property by foreigners and how it works when buying real estate in Vienna. In principle, the acquisition of ownership and co-ownership of real estate in Austria by foreigners must be approved by the authorities. Nationals of EU and EEA member states, e.g. Norwegians, have the same status as nationals and do not require a permit. It also does not matter whether you are a natural person or a legal entity. All others are nationals of third countries and generally require a permit. Thanks to the bilateral agreement, Swiss citizens do not require a permit either. If you are married to an EU citizen and are buying a property together, no permit is required. Members of some international institutions and Swiss legal entities can apply for a negative confirmation in advance to avoid the process. If you are not one of the exceptions mentioned above, an approval process is necessary, and I will now tell you how this works. First, you should check whether you meet the criteria for approval. This usually requires a social or economic interest. For private individuals, this practically means that the property should fulfill your residential needs, i.e., you must establish your main residence there. If you have been working or studying in Vienna for some time and would like to purchase a new home, this justifies your interest. If you want to buy an investment apartment for rental purposes, it does not serve any social interest and you will probably not receive the permit. If you move from one property to another, you will also have to sell the old apartment after the move. You can find out more about the criteria on the City of Vienna's webpage. If you meet the criteria and have found your dream apartment, you can submit a purchase offer with reservation of the approval of the Real Estate Commission. As long as the approval has not been granted, the contract is only concluded with reservations and no additional costs are due. Once the purchase offer has been accepted by the owner, the purchase contract is signed and the purchase price is transferred to the escrow account. The trustee then sends the purchase contract and all the necessary documents to the MA35 for approval. Then you have to wait. After a few months, maximum 6, you will receive the information that the approval has been granted. Only then is the purchase contract finalized and the property can be handed over. The entry in the land register is also after that carried out. So what are the disadvantages of buying real estate as a non-EU citizen? Firstly, the seller has to wait considerably longer for the sale proceeds and therefore probably prefers a purchase from an EU citizen. Secondly, you will have to wait several months before you can move in, as the handover can only take place after the approval. However, if you don't need to be afraid of this process. As experienced professionals, we will accompany you from the viewing of the apartment to the final handover and clarify all the questions along the way. We are therefore happy to assist you in your search and advise you on all matters relating to buying a real estate in Vienna. For more useful videos, follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.